What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. I've gotten my shovel out and done some digging, and my source is telling me that the WBA, World Boxing Association, is on the verge of ordering unified welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr., who not only holds titles in the WBA, but holds titles in the IBF and the WBC. The WBA is on the verge of ordering him to take on regular WBA welterweight champion Matthias Stannois. That's why you're not hearing anything come out of Errol Spence Jr.'s camp or the PBC's camp or Showtime boxing camp. They're waiting on the WBA to officially order that fight. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford is not happening. Terence Crawford will wait on the WBO to order a mandatory for him. He'll fight toward the end of the year. And Errol Spence Jr., in all likelihood, will take on Matthias Stannois. Now, he does have another option of moving up to 154. He has steadfastly stated that if he don't get the Crawford fight, he will move up to 154. So, bottom line is, we're not going to get Spence versus Crawford. I don't know why these people are listening to Michael Coppinger and Lance Pudgemeyer. Those two guys are nothing more than mouthpieces for Terence Crawford and his agenda. Terence Crawford is feeling some type of way about not getting the guarantee that he won't. So he throws out that he's not getting any guarantee. That's a bald-faced lie. He is getting a guarantee. How the hell he not going to get no guarantee? But Sean Porter got a guarantee when he fought Errol Spence Jr. Yordenis Ugas got a guarantee when he fought Errol Spence Jr. Mikey Garcia got a guarantee when he fought Errol Spence Jr. Danny Garcia got a guarantee when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I know some people going to say, wait a minute, JB Sports, Terence Crawford is not affiliated with the PBC. All those fighters you mentioned, they're with the PBC. Of course they're going to look out for their own fighter. They don't want to fight with Terence Crawford. That's why they ain't offer him no guarantee. That's a goddamn lie. Canelo Alvarez wasn't affiliated with the PBC, and he got a guarantee. Come on now. Tyson Fury wasn't affiliated with the PBC, and he got a guarantee. A lot of people say, well, they thought Deontay Wilder was going to whoop Tyson Fury. He hadn't fought in 2.5 years, and he fought 2 tomato cans. They thought that was going to be an easy win for Deontay Wilder. They don't think it's going to be an easy win for Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford. That's why JB Sports. What about Canelo Alvarez? In all likelihood, he was the favorite to beat Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is one of the PBC fighters. Why would they jeopardize his old, put him in there with Canelo Alvarez? Oh, JB Sport, that's Canelo Alvarez. He's the cash cow of boxing. He's the face of boxing. Of course they want to do business with Canelo Alvarez. They was trying to line him up with multiple fights after the Caleb Plant fight. But the bottom line is, you are the same guys that are running around here saying that they doing Terence Crawford dirty because he's not affiliated with the PBC. But they offered Terence Crawford a multi-fight deal, but Terence Crawford don't want to be tied down right now. You know, he think about the situation involving himself in Top Rank. That situation ended badly, so he wants to be a free agent. But the problem with that is he's not Canelo Alvarez. He can't come in here with 1 belt compared to the 3 belts that Errol Spence Jr. got and call no shots whatsoever. And the quicker he understands that, the better off he's going to be. So we will see what happens. And we will see what transpires. But you heard it here first. I'm JB Sports with the latest and the greatest news. When you want to find out about what's really going on in boxing, what I'm hearing through the grapevine of potential matchups, come to my channel. Quit listening to these guys like Michael Coppinger and Lance Pudgemeyer, mouthpieces for Terence Crawford. No, now if they break, now once this situation gets resolved between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, and Errol Spence Jr. is fighting somebody else, and Terence Crawford is getting ready to be lined up with another fight, then, you know, when Michael Coppinger break some news saying, well, Terence Crawford is going to defend his WBO belt versus Virgil Ortiz or versus whoever is in the top 5 of the WBO, then you might can take what he said in that regard as gospel. But for him to come out here talking about the details of the negotiations involving Chance Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., and he has no ties to the PBC. He used to be tied in with the PBC, but no longer has ties to the PBC. And Lance Pudgmire, who is a boxing writer, and he's on Fight Hype. I see him a lot of times on Zoom interviewing these fighters before the fight. He has no ties to the PBC either. I'm going to tell you some guys that have ties to the PBC. Dan Raphael, he's got some ties to the PBC. Keith Idec, he got some ties to the PBC. Michael Carpenter used to have some ties to the PBC, but he's now affiliated with ESPN and Top Rank Boxing. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But next week, expect to hear the WBA, who's been patiently waiting for this whole Errol Spence Jr. and Chance Crawford fight to come to fruition, to finally say enough is enough and to order Errol Spence Jr. to defend the WBA welterweight title versus the regular WBA welterweight champion, Matheus Stannois, who won that belt off of Butterveil in a fight I actually thought he lost. I thought Butterveil beat him, but it was a very close fight, and he was able to get the decision. And I'm expecting that fight to be ordered next week. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Now, if that fight does come to fruition, I would advise the PBC to take that fight to Cowboy Stadium. They shouldn't put that fight on in Las Vegas. That was going to be the location for Errol Spence Jr. versus Chance Crawford. I know they probably have a venue booked on the Strip, but they probably didn't put some money up, a deposit up for that fight. For that date, November 19th for Errol Spence Jr. So maybe they go ahead and go and fight in Vegas. But if they can get out of that, I would do that and move that fight to Cowboy Stadium, where Errol Spence Jr. has a strong fan base. And the fight would do good numbers down there in Dallas, Texas, because Matheus Stannois, he don't have no fan base whatsoever. But he's old to fight for the WBA title, as he took step-aside money, and he fought on the undercard of Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas, with the understanding that he will fight for the WBA title in his next fight. Now, if Spence and Crawford was able to be finalized, then they would have had to pay him step-aside money once again, and they would have put him on the undercard. I was hearing that he was going to be fighting Crowley, the Canadian boxer. They would have put that as a co-main event. But all that seems to be not the way this thing is going to happen. And what's going to end up happening is Errol Spence Jr. takes on Matheus Stannois November 19th, either in Las Vegas or Dallas, Texas, at Cowboy Stadium. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. Chance Crawford will wait on his WBO mandatory to be called, and then any promoter that want to put on that fight will be able to bid on Chance Crawford next fights, whether it be Golden Boy Promotions, Matchroom Boxing, TGB Promotions, which is affiliated with the PBC, Queensberry Promotions. Anybody that wants to bid on that fight will be able to bid on that fight. Was that Marv Nation? That's who won the first bid for Regis Prograis versus Jose Zepeda. They'll be able to bid on that fight. It seems to be trying to get in to the business of boxing. They're trying to make a splash as they enter boxing. That'll be another fight that they could possibly bid on. Chance Crawford's WBO mandatory. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.